What's up, y'all? You got Dana here, and this is gonna be a really quick review of Big Cannon versus SYAH. It literally came out not too long ago, but I literally got everything that I needed off 2 views of the battle. I thought it was pretty clear the Big Cannon got it. One thing that I have to say is it wasn't a matter of SYAH being whack, because he wasn't. He had his moments. I'll be sure to discuss that once we get into the rounds. But I just feel like as far as having a polished performance and an overall total package performance, I just feel like Big Cannon, I really feel like it wasn't too much SYAH could do with the bars that he had brought, just because Big Cannon's overall performance as far as his angles and things like that, we're contesting all of that. Oh, and before I get started, I wanted to give Debate Review TV a big shout out. If you're not subscribed to that channel, public service announcement, go subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I try and support everybody who supports me, so they fuck with me, y'all should fuck with them, and vice versa, because they do get more reviews than me. So public service announcement, if you watch them and you don't watch me, watch me. Okay, anyway, so we get into the first round. Big Cannon goes first. I have to say that this was a strong round for Big Cannon. I really feel like his setups throughout this round were really good, but because his setups were so long, it took him a while to get to the punch, and I feel like the round suffered a bit, because though there was tons of substance there, as far as getting those punches and haymakers in, there wasn't much of that. And you kind of want things to be a little more fast-paced in a battle. His performance is so convicting in most of his battles that, that helps a ton when watching him. I think a lot of people could take tons and tons of pointers from watching Big Cannon's performance style. I just feel like he's one of the best performing right now as far as I'm concerned. We get into SYAH Boy's first round. He started off with that sneaker scheme. It was a bit long, but it was appropriate considering the fact that it was a sneaker event. So I know some people are like, that was unnecessary, but you have to think of where he was. He wrote obviously that for that event. So I liked it. The foam deposits punch at the end was dope to me. There was tons of dope wordplay and flips throughout this round that I really enjoyed, and this is something that he does a lot. He did it obviously against Latize, and it's really what he does, I think, is really clever. Obviously the Big Cannon drive-through flips I really enjoyed. I thought they were super entertaining to watch. Everything was really fast-paced in this first round for SYAH Boy, which I liked. Had some bars for the stabs he was going to get because of his contacts. Those were super effective. He had flips for that as well that I thought were dope. Overall, just based on the fact that it seemed like SYAH was a bit more fast-paced and getting to the punch and getting to the haymakers and keeping things super light and entertaining, I gave him that first round clearly. I mean, it could be debatable if you know what I'm saying, like I said, you enjoy that style of having, firm angles and things like that. But for me, when it came down to it, I just want more meat. And as far as having the oohs and the ahs, SYAH gave me more oohs and ahs in the first round. We get into the second round, and compared to his first, I feel like Big Cannon had way more in the way of punches, and the angles in this second for me really played well into what he was doing, unlike the first for me. So we get into the second round. I really like how Big Cannon had the whole angle about breaking down SYAH Boy's style. The thing that I enjoyed in that first round, which was the fact that he does a lot of flips and he can take a word and do tons of things with it. Big Cannon broke that down in this second, and it was funny and it was effective. Also, I liked how he examined the scheme that he had where he talked about buying a K from Best Buy. That whole setup and the bars following it were hilarious. Super funny. His sickness scheme in homage to Chilla Jones I thought was dope. I really think that this particular scheme, though it's been done in the past, I really like the way that he did it. I like the fact that, this is real to the heart double entendre. And there are a lot of people that confuse associative wordplay with scheming. And this is what you call scheming, okay? When you can take those words and use them verbatim in your scheme, and there's a double entendre there. So I really enjoyed that scheme. The trailer, Broken Home Punch, I thought was dope. Yeah, just overall, he had a really, really strong second, super entertaining. We get into SYAH's second, and he lost a lot of momentum compared to Big Cannon. He had his moments though. The Pursuit of Happiness line I thought was dope. The Offensive Tackle line I thought was dope. The State Farm line was dope. His music scheme was he was pretty funny in this second, but like I said, the shit that Big Cannon was giving him in that second, there wasn't too much that he could do, unless he just had some holy grail bars he was holding on to. But obviously, I just feel, overall, Big Cannon really got him. And because of that, I gave Big Cannon the second. We get into the third. This is when he really went off, Big Cannon. I feel like he'd saved all the punches and the haymakers for this third, and he was going off. The puberty bar was cold. The touchback line was cold. The breakdown of the word number I thought was cold. That 8 Mile setup was crazy, and the fact that the crowd wasn't feeling that, what was there not to like about it? But anyway, just to sum it all up, another strong round from Big Cannon. We get into SYAH's third, and again, there were some issues too with the audio, so that was just another thing that kind of fucked it up for him. Obviously, that's not his fault, but I just figured that was worth mentioning. Also, what I'm saying, he had his moments, the flipping of old bars thing, I'm over it. I'm so over it. But like I said, just overall, it wasn't enough in his third to really compete with that punch fest that Big Cannon was coming off of. Really good battle overall, I have to say, but this is one of those things where you can tell who's more polished and who's not as polished. I think that if SYAH can incorporate other elements in his rounds a lot more, like incorporating angles, like I said, Big Cannon being fat isn't an angle in my personal opinion, so I can't really count that as an angle. Fat jokes are cute, but they get redundant after a while. I thought that was a big issue throughout this battle for SYAH Boy. Overall, like I said, I would have to score this battle 2-1 in favor of Big Cannon, giving SYAH Boy the first and Big Cannon the second and the third. Let me know what your thoughts are of the battle down in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought, how you scored it, what your favorite bars were, and all that jazz. And I will be seeing y'all soon because I got another review that I'm editing. So peace.